Hello my dear friends, so welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, let's try to understand the horoscope matchmaking in Vedic astrology. Also, this is going to be very interesting and very unique video. And I will help you to summarize all the points that are very necessary before proceeding into the marriage aspect into your life. See, horoscope matchmaking in Jyotish Shastra, it is a very detailed oriented concept, and many astrologers, they only focused upon the one thing, and that is the Guna Milan. Guna Milan means out of 36 you must need to secure minimum 18 marks. So any marks above 18, that is considered as a very good match. But let me tell you one thing, Guna Milan is only the 10% of the picture. Apart from Guna Milan, there are various other parameters that we must need to look into consideration. And in this specific video, I'm going to cover all that steps one by one. And I personally recommend you to please watch this video till end. Don't miss any of the point. If you want to make the notes, you can please pause the video in between and you can definitely make the notes as well. But I will tell you, this video is sufficient for you in order to look into the horoscope matchmaking perspective. Number one thing that we need to look, that is the emotional compatibility. Number second thing, we need to look into the love compatibility. Emotional compatibility is determined by planet moon and in the male and the female chart. Love compatibility is determined by planet Venus in both male and the female chart. The next one is the spiritual compatibility or the after marriage analysis, that is determined using planet Jupiter in Vedic astrology. Next one is the childbirth analysis. In Vedic astrology, we could call it as the Nadi Milan as well, or is there something Nadi Dosh like that thing. So that is the next step. Next, we need to look into the Mangal Dosh analysis, whether the one person is Manglik or other person is Manglik or not. So that is the Mangal Dosh analysis. Next step that we must need to take into consideration, that is the sexual compatibility, because sexual compatibility is also very important as far as the childbirth analysis is concerned, because in order to determine whether you are going to obtain a child or not, we need to look both the male and the female horoscopes. Also, there are other various steps as well, that is known as the superimposing of your planetary alignments upon your wife or your husband or your spouse planetary alignments upon your chart. So that is going to be also the next step, in which we will be able to make a very detailed oriented predictions with regards to both the charts. Before proceeding into these steps, let me tell you one thing. See, Vedic astrology is a very interconnected subject, very interconnected. So your planetary alignments, they are also interconnected with your husband or with your wife planetary alignments. And as soon as you are getting married in your life, there is going to be huge impact of your planetary alignments upon your life partner's life and your life partner planetary alignments upon your life. So Vedic astrology or horoscope matchmaking, that is always a two-way concept. It is not like that we can determine everything from just looking at the male chart or the female chart. Horoscope matchmaking is a two-way concept. Childbirth analysis, that is also a two-way concept. Sexual compatibility is also a two-way concept. So here both male as well as the female chart, they are going to play a very important part. So let's proceed with the number one step, and that is the emotional compatibility. See, emotional compatibility is determined using planet moon in Vedic astrology, and here we need to check in which zodiac sign both male and the female moon are posited in. And emotional compatibility is very important in order to determine the complete step. So in the emotional compatibility, first of all, we need to check the zodiac sign placement, in which zodiac sign your moon is posited or your partner's moon is posited. And number second thing that we need to check, that is moon to moon placement. So from your moon, how many places away your partner's moon is posited. So here I will tell you, planet Venus, Mercury and Saturn, these three planets, they are the best friends. So if your moon is posited in Venus zodiac signs, so your partner's moon must need to be posited into the Venus or Mercury or even the Saturn zodiac sign, because these three are the best friends. If your moon is posited in out of these three zodiac signs or the zodiac signs ruled by these three planets, and if your partner's moon is posited in either Jupiter or Sun, planet, moon, then this is not going to be considered as a good match. So the number one thing that we need to check whether you both are emotionally compatible or not, that is the zodiac sign placement of the moon. So Venus, Saturn, Mercury, these three are the very, very best friends. So if the moon is posited into, both male and female moon are posited into these zodiac signs, so that is going to be considered as a very good match. Second step, as I told you, that is the moon to moon placement. See, moon to moon placement is very important in order to determine the intellectual stimulation between the male and the female life, whether the other person is capable enough to stimulate you intellectually or not. Because in my personal experience, I have seen a lot of astrological birth chart. Here, only because of the intellectual stimulation, they are going to live a very long life, or their relationship that is going to be long lasting. Because intellectual stimulation is vitally important, and intellectual stimulation came into play if from your moon, your partner's moon is either posited in the quadrant places, trine places, or it is forming a 3-11 relationship. Let me give you one example. Suppose your moon is posited in the first house, or your life partner moon is posited in the 4th house. So from your moon, your partner moon is going 4 places away, and from your partner's moon, your moon is going 10 places away. So that is forming a quadrant relationship, 4 and the 10 relationship. That is known as the quadrant relationship. In the similar way, if your moon is posited in the first house, your partner's moon posited in the 5th house or 9th house, so that is forming a trine relationship. If your moon is posited, suppose in the 7th house, your partner's moon is posited in the 9th house, so that is forming a 3 and 11 relationship. So quadrant 4, 1, 4, 7, 10, trine 5 and 9, and the 3 and 11. These relationships are very, very good in order to determine the intellectual stimulation. Here, two things that are not considered very good: if from your moon, your life partner moon is going 6 places away or 8 places away. So that is not going to be considered as a very good thing. Keep this thing in your mind. 6 or 8 places away. That is known as the Khadashtak combination. If Khadashtak combination is present over there, it means there is lot of misunderstandings that are going to come in between both of you, and that is going to create a lot of problems between the relationship between male and the female. Khadashtak combination mean your moon is posited in the 1st house, or in your partner's life moon is in the 6th house. So it means that is forming a 6 and 8 relationship. So that is not going to be considered as a good thing. Or suppose your moon is posited in the 7th house, your life partner moon is posited in the 2nd house, so that is also forming a 6 and 8 relationship. So 6 and 8 relationship, it is not preferable from the marriage point of view. Although even if the moon is posited in the friendly zodiac signs, it doesn't matter. House placement of the moon is going to play a very, very, very important role in order to determine the sustenance, whether the relationship is going to sustain for longer duration of time or not. And the last is the 2 and the 12 relationship. Suppose your moon is posited in the 1st house, your life partner moon is posited into the 12th house. So that is forming a 2 and 12 relationship. So the 2 and 12 relationship it is forming, that is a condition where loss is happening, where you want to communicate something else, or your partner is like receiving some different information. You are communicating something different information, or your partner is receiving some different information. So that is also going to create a lot of misunderstandings among the relationship. And that is the number one thing, that is emotional compatibility. Number second is the love compatibility, that is determined using planet Venus in Vedic astrology. Here I will tell you, you must need to check the zodiac sign placement of Venus. First of all, if your Venus is posited into the friendly sign or into the watery sign, it means you are a very deep and very emotional kind of a person. Most of the cases, if Venus is posited in the watery zodiac signs, it means you are sitting upon the giving end. You keep on giving love, care, affection, support towards others. Similarly, in the air zodiac signs as well, if your Venus is in the air zodiac sign of Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, it means you are also a very passionate kind of a lover. So the like watery zodiac signs and the air zodiac sign, that is going to be a very good compatibility from the love point of view. On the other hand, suppose Venus is posited in earth element or the fiery element. Earth element means Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo. So that is not going to be considered as a good thing, because here Venus tend to become a wealth oriented Venus. Venus is looking after money, materialistic gains, or Venus is constantly chasing the money for the stability in their life. So this is not going to be a very passionate love. Similarly, Venus in the fiery zodiac signs. Venus in the sign of Aries, in the sign of Leo, in the sign of Sagittarius. So if Venus is in the fiery zodiac signs, here the attraction is more towards the opposite sex that are from the different cultural background, or there are going to be lot of differences that is going to be present over there. Although Venus in the fiery zodiac signs, this may lead to some emotional sufferings as well, but fiery zodiac signs, they are deeply, or like they are very good compatible with the watery zodiac signs as well, or they are similarly very coordinated with the air zodiac sign. But fire is not coordinated with the earth zodiac sign, so that you need to look. Secondly, similarly, you need to check whether the Venus is posited in the quadrant houses, trine houses, Dushtana houses, 2, 6, 11 houses, or the 12 houses. And you must need to study the relationship between Venus to Venus. Similarly, as we did in the case of Moon, so quadrant places away, trine places away, similar kind of predictions that are applicable to planet Venus as well. Number next is the after marriage analysis. So now you are getting married. So planet Jupiter is going to play a very important role in order to determine the complete results. First of all, let me tell you one thing. If suppose in your astrological birth chart, Jupiter is in very well dignified condition, if it is very powerful, if it is in the sign of Pisces, Sagittarius, in the sign of Leo, even in the sign of Scorpio, in the sign of Aries, if it is in the friendly sign, it means you are a family oriented person. You are a very, very family oriented person if your Jupiter is posited into these zodiac signs. But if your suppose partner's Jupiter is posited in the debilitated sign, it is posited in the inimical sign of Mercury, specifically in the sign of Gemini, in the sign of Virgo, then what is going to happen? This Jupiter is going to put a lot of adverse impact upon your career immediately after marriage. And it is much preferable for you, if your Venus is very weak, if it is in the inimical sign or in the debilitated sign, try to marry with the person whose Jupiter is very powerful, either posited in its own zodiac sign, exalted zodiac sign, or if it is in the very well kind of a dignified condition. Don't marry with the person if both of you are going to have very strong Jupiter. Suppose your Jupiter is in the sign of Sagittarius, your life partner Jupiter is also in the sign of Sagittarius, that is not going to be considered as a good match. There must need to have some kind of a differentiating factor in Jupiter. If your Jupiter in the watery zodiac sign, in the sign of Scorpio, so try to marry with the person whose Jupiter is posited in the sign of Sagittarius. So in that way, you need to do the Jupiter to Jupiter analysis. Also, one very important thing, that is an exceptional case with exalted Jupiter. If in your astrological birth chart Jupiter is exalted in your chart, then I personally recommend you, before making the decision of the marriage, it is very important for you to look for the other horoscope with microscopic eye, so that you can superimpose the planets into your chart and superimpose your planets into your partner chart. So if the exalted Jupiter is going into the quadrant houses, specifically the quadrant houses 1, 4, 7, 10 into your life partner chart, this is not going to be considered as a good thing, because I will tell you, exalted Jupiter is going to lead you towards the path of spirituality. Exalted Jupiter is not considered good in the quadrant houses or in the trine houses, specifically after superimposing your Jupiter into your partner's chart. So that is not going to be considered as a good match. If Jupiter, exalted Jupiter is going into the 6th house, 8th house, 3rd house, 2nd house, 12th house, this is a good thing. Next important thing, that is the Mangal Dosh analysis. So here I will tell you what does Manglik mean. And a lot of individuals, they are very fearful, like I'm a Manglik, my life partner is not Manglik. See, Manglik simply means Mars is the form of energy, and that represents the sexual energy as well. So if your Mars is posited in the 12th house, 1st house, 2nd house, 4th house, 7th house, 8th house, then this is known as the Manglik Dosh. But if your partner's Mars is also posited into these specific houses, so that Mangal Dosh is getting cancelled out completely. There are other factors as well in which the Mangal Dosh is getting cancelled out, specifically the planet Saturn placement from the Mars is going to cancel out this Mangal Dosh as well. If you are a Manglik, try to marry with the partner who is also Manglik. If you are non-Manglik, if your Mars is not posited into these houses, try to marry with the person who is also not Manglik. In that way, this is going to give you a very good sexual life. Otherwise, what is going to happen? One is going to become very dominating. Manglik individuals, they tend to dominate the other partner. So that dominancy is going to be there. If you like dominant partner, you can marry with the Manglik person. If you don't like dominancy, please don't marry. Because I will tell you one more thing. Planet Mars is the single most planet in Vedic astrology that is responsible for the Mangalya. Mangalya means the marital bliss. So this is not the planet that is only responsible for the sexual compatibility. Have you seen in India, there are a lot of ladies that are wearing the Mangal Sutra that around their neck. So that chain, Mangal Sutra means the protection. So husband is acting as a protector. In your astrological birth chart, specifically in the female astrological birth chart, planet Mars placement is also going to determine the dignity, strength of your partner. So if your Mars is debilitated, ladies, your partner is going to be very ruthless. If your Mars is in the sign of Leo, partner is going to be very ruthless. So Mars is very, very, very important planet. This is the energy I will tell you. Even you must need to study the relationship between Mars and the Venus in order to determine the complete sexual compatibility. Suppose from your Mars represents your sexual desires. Both male and female, they are having sexual desires. So that is seen from planet Mars. And Venus is the fulfillment of that desires. So from your Mangal, from your Mars, if your life partner Venus is posited quadrant or trine places away, that is going to consider as a very good sexual match. For example, your Mars is posited in the first house, your life partner Venus is posited in the fourth house. So that is going 4 places away. So that is going to be considered as a very, very, very good match. It means your desires, they are going to fulfilled by your partner. Similarly, from the life partner chart, you need to check that thing. Also, you need to check Venus as well. From Venus, how many places Mars is going, because Venus is the fulfillment. So whether your partner is going to fulfill your sexual desires or not, that thing is seen from planet Venus and Mars analysis. If I will tell you it is forming a 2-12 relationship or the 6-8 relationship, then this is not going to be considered as a good sexual compatibility. This is going to be a forced kind of a relationship where you are dragging or forcing your partner into your sexual life. So that is not going to be considered as a good thing. Even I will tell you, in certain placements of Venus and Mars, this may lead to like childbirth. At the time of childbirth, there is going to be severe loss of blood is happening. In some cases, have you seen the childbirth is obtained through cesarean section, or like there are a lot of difficulties females are going to face at the time of childbirth. Blood loss is happening or like whatnot, like lot of difficulties. So why this thing is happening? Because your Mars and Venus, they are not compatible with each other, and that is again not considered as a good thing. I will tell you, Mangal Dosh analysis and Mars and Venus analysis is very, very, very important in order to determine the childbirth aspect. Similarly, you must need to look into the 5th house by superimposing your planet into the partner 5th house, and from your chart you must need to superimpose into that thing. Next step, and that is known as the spiritual compatibility. Although as I told you, in the case of Jupiter is the karka or significator of the after marriage analysis, whether you are capable of raising a family, raising up the kids or not. Here you must need to check the Jupiter placement in the Navmansh Kundli, along with all the other planets as well, but particularly Jupiter, in order to determine the spiritual compatibility. You must need to study the relationship between Jupiter and Ketu. Must need to study the relationship between Jupiter and Ketu, first of all into your chart and then into your partner chart. If I will tell you, after superimposing your Jupiter into your partner's chart, if Jupiter is going into the quadrant houses, trine houses, or even the 12th house or 8th house, it means you are after marriage you are going to become a very spiritual person, very spiritual person. But suppose after superimposing your Jupiter into your partner's chart, your Jupiter is posited in the 2nd house, 3rd house, 6th house, 11th house, or even I will tell you sometimes in the 9th house as well, then this is not going to be a very spiritual match. Similarly with planet Ketu, you just need to superimpose the Rahu and the Ketu axis upon your partner's chart. Because I will tell you, in the spiritual compatibility, along with planet Jupiter, Rahu and Ketu axis, that is also going to play a very important role. First of all, why there is the need of that spiritual compatibility? These factors are like, they are okay. You are emotionally compatible, you are having the complete love compatibility, sexual compatibility is okay, your childbirth compatibility is very good. Then why? What is the need for spiritual compatibility? See, the need for spiritual compatibility arises specifically when you are into one of the most critical or difficult situations into your life. When you are in your down period and your life partner is away from you. Because I will tell you, that is the number one aspect, because partner's blessing, it may be direct blessings or indirect blessings, have the ability to pick you up, to heal you completely. If you are living into some kind of a relationship between you and your partner and you are behaving in the selfish manner, then even it is written in the Garuda Purana as well, after your death, you are going to receive lot of penance into that hell loka as well. So you must need to behave in the very polite manner between you and your partner. That is very important. Spiritual compatibility is going to save you always. If you are always blessing your partner, if you are giving your partner the blessings, although in our Indian tradition, in our Indian culture, ladies always bow in front of the husband and they take that ashirvad or take the blessings from the husband, because husband is considered as a god in front of the woman. And similarly, I will tell you, woman is also going to be considered as a goddess. So if you are worshipping each other, that is going to create this spiritual bond between both of you. If you are performing some dharmic karyas, anything, if you suppose you are a husband and wife, you want to start your own business, you want to do the partnership business, then how you are going to determine whether me and my partner, they both are going to have very good partnership business or not? That thing is determined using Jupiter and Ketu axis. So you must need to pay attention towards all these steps before proceeding into the horoscope matchmaking or any kind of a thing, or like if you want to make the decisions of marriage, please look into these steps. These are very important steps in order to determine the complete results. And last one is the superimposing of your planets into your partner's chart. That is quite a very difficult thing, but let me help you to summarize it down. First of all, do one thing. You are having your D1 chart, that is the Lagna chart. Along with that thing, please plot the moon chart as well. Moon in the ascendant, and plot these two charts on a piece of paper. Similarly, plot your life partner D1 chart or moon chart on a piece of paper. Superimpose her planetary alignments into your chart, you're into her chart, and then try to read the results. If you want to know what is happening into my life after this person is entering into my life, study the chart by superimposing the planet. If Jupiter is going into this houses, so it means that Lord is going into that houses, so that results are going to come. In that way, you will be able to determine the kind of impact. If suppose some planets are going into very good direction, some planets are going into bad direction, so in that way you will easily understand. Have you seen, like after getting married, finances are improving, career growth is happening? Why this thing is happening? Because partners planetary alignments, they are either giving strength to the 2nd or 11th house, or either to the 10th house. That is why finances are improving. That is why your career is improving. Vedic astrology is a very interconnected subject. Your karmas are deeply interconnected with your life partner, with your husband, with your wife. These things, they are interconnected, even with your children as well. In that, we need to look into the 5th house. But for that, I will make some another video. But please watch this video 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, or even 10 times. You have no need to look anywhere. Just watch this video. Pause this video, listen to what I'm saying. You are going to learn everything with regard to horoscope matchmaking. So that's it, guys, from my side in this video. I hope you like this analysis. If you have any queries, any consultations with regards to horoscope matchmaking, any other marriage compatibility, spiritual consultation, career, business consultation, do let me know. I'm going to respond you back as soon as possible. So till then, please subscribe my channel below and make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. Till then, please take care of yourself, and I'm going to meet you very soon in the next video. Bye bye and take care.